right, so this quiz. Test your knowledge of Christianity. All right, so here it is. You got 10 questions. 10 questions here. Here's the first question was, what South Asian country does tradition say that the Apostle Thomas once traveled to? Now, we're not talking about anything in Scripture. We're just, it's something that tradition kind of developed that Thomas may have traveled to this particular country, but it's not known for sure. The correct answer is India, okay? I did happen to know that it was India, but again, we're not talking about anything scripturally here. Then, listen to this. Question number 2. What is a popular Easter dish in Haux, France? So in the town of Haux, France, I think I'm pronouncing it right, H-A-U-X, Haux, could be Haux, okay, Haux, France. What's a popular Easter dish there? This is testing my knowledge of Christianity? Well, apparently it's an omelet. I didn't know it was an omelet. Okay, so I guess I don't know that much about Christianity. Now the next question was actually, what do you know? Kind of a biblical question. It was, how old did Methuselah live to be? Now I happen to know Methuselah lived to be 969 years old, so I got that one right. But again, in all fairness though, what's that have to do with your knowledge of Christianity? You could say, that has to do with your knowledge of Bible trivia or Old Testament facts or something like that, but or biblical genealogies even or something, but Christianity, what does that really have to do with the gospel message of Jesus Christ? Do you know how old Methuselah lived to be? All right, number 4 was, in Norway, what household items do Norwegians tend to hide on Christmas Eve to keep away evil spirits? So apparently in Norway, the Norwegians, some of them have this tradition, this superstition, which is not very Christian-like, this superstition that on Christmas Eve they want to keep evil spirits away, so they hide something. What is it they hide? Brooms. They hide their brooms. Okay, so they do this in Norway? Alright, fine. But I didn't know that, so apparently I don't know very much about Christianity. Just incredible. Number 5. Which body of water did Jesus walk on? Hey, we got something actually connected to Jesus here in the New Testament. Got that one right. Sea of Galilee. Okay, so there's some, I could kind of see that one in there, maybe. Question number 6. How long did the shortest reigning pope's papacy last? Of all the different popes, the pope that was the pope for the shortest period of time, what was that period of time? And apparently it was 12 days. Okay. Number 7. In Belgium, what do people tend to throw at revelers during the Belgian version of Mardi Gras right before Lent? Apparently they throw oranges at people. Don't know why they do this in Belgium, but apparently they do as part of their version of Mardi Gras, which of course is right before Lent. I hope everybody out there is getting this nice education that I'm giving you via CNN on what Christianity really means and is all about. Your knowledge of Christianity. Number 8. What country holds this veil that some believe through tradition might have been worn by the actual Virgin Mary? Now this veil is in France, just so you know. Number 9. Which African nation has a church that claims to have the Ark of the Covenant? I knew that one was Ethiopia. We don't know that the Ark of the Covenant's here, but there's a church that claims that they have the Ark of the Covenant, but they won't let people verify it. All right, fine. And then number 10. Which animal symbolizes immortality? And it says, many animals are discussed in the Bible. Which animal symbolizes immortality? And I'm like, wait a minute here. Is there an animal in the Bible that supposedly symbolizes immortality? No. But the correct answer is peacock. Here's why. It's not biblical, but peacocks are mentioned in the Bible. But there's an ancient tradition that developed of some people believing the peacock's flesh doesn't decay when it dies, and so therefore you've had some Christian people throughout history and folklore that have developed a sense of tradition in seeing the peacock as some kind of a symbol of immortality. But it has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with Scripture. So there you go. So how knowledgeable are you of Christianity? So I'm reading this piece from John Stonestreet, okay? John Stonestreet is the president of the Colson Center, and he gives daily commentaries as well on faith and culture, and he wrote this op-ed for Fox News, and it's a great op-ed. He makes such an excellent point. I just want to read to you some of what he says. The headline of his piece is, quote, CNN religion quiz needs to take Christianity seriously. And I'll just read to you a little bit. It says, quote, in what has become an annual tradition of television programming claiming to reveal the real Jesus of Nazareth, it seems that CNN is off to an early start. Every Easter season, cable networks fill their lineups with specials featuring biblical and historical experts who often represent only the skeptical side of the long-standing debate about the historical Jesus. This year, CNN even preempted their special series, Finding Jesus, Fact, Faith, Forgery, with an even stronger than usual dose of their "we will tell you, especially you Christians, what Christianity really is" attitude toward believers in matters of faith. At CNN.com, all are invited to take a 10-question online promotional quiz entitled, Do you have faith in your knowledge of Christianity? Among the crucially important matters of faith revealed by this little test are what a commune in southwest France serves for the Easter meal, what household items believers in Norway hide from evil spirits, what objects are thrown to celebrate Fat Tuesday in the Belgian town of Binge, what African nation claims to have the Ark of the Covenant, who the shortest reigning pontiff was. In a quiz claiming to test one's knowledge of Christianity, there is a sum total of one question about Jesus Christ, which was, where did he walk on water? Nothing is asked about the birth of Jesus, the words of Jesus, the death of Jesus, or the resurrection of Jesus. There are 0 questions about the Christian understanding of truth, sin, or salvation. Nothing about Paul, nothing about Peter, nothing about the afterlife, nothing about the human condition. In reality, the quiz reveals virtually nothing about one's knowledge of Christianity. And however, it does reveal much about how CNN and so many of the secular elites, how they themselves view religion, and the blind spot that clouds their thinking, that secularists are just as much people of faith as the faithful that they hope to educate. For secularists who tend to see religion as little more than a cultural artifact in a world slipping fast away, the sort of obscure questions asked by the CNN.com quiz make sense. Religious truth claims, in this view, only reflect the irrational beliefs of people hanging on to traditions from a time before omniscient science and enlightenment reasoning. Religion describes only what people believe and do. It does not and cannot describe the world as it is. In a recent presentation to the employees at Google, Tim Keller of New York City's Redeemer Presbyterian Church called this view of religion simplistic and naive. First, the world, when one looks outside of Europe and North America, is getting more, not less, religious. To suggest the opposite is a statement of cultural imperialism. Second, if secularists are right about God, that he doesn't exist, then the universe and everything that exists, including our brains, resulted from natural mindless processes. If this is really our story, then how can we substantiate our faith in human reason? And third, and this is crucial, our faith in human reason is just that, faith. The statement that all things must be proven by reason to be true is an assumption that we make that itself is not provable by reason. If embraced, it's taken by faith. None of this is to say that secularism is false and Christianity is true. Both secularism and Christianity make claims about the world we live in, about human nature, about God. Both secularists and Christians, as Keller went on to demonstrate, rely on reason and faith in investigating and offering explanations about the world we experience. To many brilliant people, after investigating Christian truth claims in light of their own existential struggles, have embraced faith for it to be too much for it to be cavalierly dismissed. Atheists like Anthony Flew and others, and C.S. Lewis came to believe the intricate design and stubborn persistence of moral norms we see in the universe were best explained by the existence of a higher power. Skeptics, former skeptics like Lee Strobel and others, found that there's far more to this Jesus of Nazareth than the historical evidence of his resurrection than typically presented in the annual network specials. Christianity, like all belief systems, certainly deserves to be investigated and scrutinized. No one settles for an unexamined faith, but by all means, it deserves to be taken seriously. It's a good point that he makes, but just in a general sense, folks, it just goes to show how so many in secular society, and I think CNN is a good representation of this, how they're just absolutely clueless to Christianity and it's not even really interested in what we believe. It's reduced to what kind of traditions do people in Norway or Belgium do or whatever as part of folklore. But I submit to you folks, if during Ramadan, CNN or any of the media did a thing on, let's test your knowledge of Islam, you know that there would be doctrinal and theological questions about the core teachings and tenets of Islam. It wouldn't be over in Norway, what color socks do Norwegian Muslims tend to wear, okay, at the beginning of Ramadan? I mean, it wouldn't be something, because it has nothing to do with knowledge of Islam. It's a trivial pursuit question. But they don't really have an interest in discussing anything about the tenets of faith. Nothing at all about examining Jesus' words, Jesus' claims, salvation, his death, his resurrection, how you get to heaven, who Jesus really is, nothing like that at all. So look for more of this inane silliness and complete lack of interest in what Christianity is about. Look for more of this in the press, folks, as you get closer to Easter. Anyway.